Land shark!
It's really nice in here. I really like this tree.
You
guys should try this tree. This tree's really, really nice.
Not when there's a ground
What?
warthog trying to kill us.
And your excuses, country.
You glance over in the direction of the farmhouse, and there appears to be an elven man in overalls.
This is the god of farming.
I know. I want tips.
Across the way is a dolphin.
You can see what looks like a giant column of bubbles.
Oh.
Creating a small air gap.
Okay.
You are swimming closer when you see a massive shark. I know why you have come, and I know whom you pursue. I am to give you a trial, and it shall be so. I will sit as judge, and you will explain to me why you do not believe Lysanthire's cause is just. Persuade me, and you pass. What do you say? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of peakdnd. That's us. Let's play the game. Alrighty, so last time you guys got pretty deep into a temple of the Seldarine beneath the former site of the Elven city of Tangled Trees, where you have been facing the trials of the Elven gods in order to prove your worth for some nebulous reason. You've also been receiving these scrolls as you complete the trials, which have helped to fill in some of the blanks around why a giant flying city fell on top of another magical city. Anyway, how about we get back to it? So you are currently facing the trial of the Elven goddess Andrea Gilmadreth, who has appeared before you in a fairly austere courtroom and has asked you to demonstrate why your cause is just and why Lysanthire's cause is not. So, with that said, are we ready for opening statements?
Is that how this works? I don't know. You have to. I apologize. I've never been in a courtroom.
I've always abided by the law. I've never been here before.
So how does Elf Court work?
Elf God Court. Elven God Court.
The people are a family. This is just an uncomfortable sort of family meeting. We will not stand on ceremony. You will not be penalized for a failure to abide by etiquette. I am solely concerned with the quality of your arguments. I will act when I know what justice is. I will need your assistance with that.
Who is representing the defense in this case?
Are
we defendants?
I suppose this is a matter of adjudication. It would be prudent to have a representative there. Very well. She kind of makes a gesture, and a hag appears on the opposite side of the aisle as you.
Oh, man.
I guess carrot hammers aren't permitted.
There will be no need for violence in this court.
I demand a trial by combat.
We got rid of that years ago. It just let
Well,
everyone
dang
who
it.
was really good at fighting off.
Fair enough. I was just sort of
I
curious
pout in
as
the
to like,
pews.
are we up against like, is it
Just,
just?
nudge you in the ribs, like, why did you do that?
I want to hear the hag's argument.
So she kind of looks around for a minute, and she turns and looks at you, and she bears an uncanny resemblance to Ethel Driftwood Wormwiggle, whose house you ruined.
Hey, I know you.
Oh, bugger. What is this?
Wait,
Bone
You-
Palace.
you're alive?
No! Well, it's complicated.
I think this is
I mean, a god just brought her back for this, so.
just like this is more of a guest appearance, I think. But I like it. I like it.
Personification of what's going on.
Here,
Fair
here's a
enough.
briefing. This will explain everything. Let me see. Oh, yep. Yes, that does sound familiar. Fine. Didn't think I'd see any of you people again.
We didn't think
Same
we'd see
here.
you.
I mean, copyright this might be a good time to bring up our copyright infringement case.
That's a separate news.
We own the trademark on Bone Palace, and we're not giving it up.
I don't, you know.
Can we license it?
Can we buy it from you?
Well, now I'm open to discussion on the matter, but we should speak after the court.
Yes,
I
We
think.
only have Electrum.
We can offer you
Ah, that's worthless.
quite a sum in Electrum.
Take a perfectly good gold piece and attach a bunch of silver pieces to it. I don't know,
Sounds like
I don't know how
yours.
metallurgy works.
Do you have any bits of your soul left?
I'm sure I could bargain it away in this case.
Okay,
I'm sure.
Just making sure. I didn't know how dedicated you were.
I
to the
sold
Bone
my
Palace.
soul for the Bone Palace.
And all I got was this stupid T-shirt.
It's funny you say that, but that's an out-of-game conversation.
Nice.
Would you buy a Bone Palace t-shirt? Why not tell us in the comments
More
section
importantly,
below?
do you have
Jastien's
a
Bone
witty
Palace.
thing to put on a Bone Palace t-shirt?
Also true.
We don't need to outsource that.
All right,
We
let's
could.
focus up, team. There's no tomorrow. There's no next
I
day.
can't believe it.
Oh yeah, I was just. That was my favorite part of that video.
The
All right.
outtake.
Cool.
Opening statements.
Very well. Opening statements.
Who's up? Mr. Charisma.
Person with
I'm not
social
exactly
skills.
terrible. I'm just better at. I'm decent at persuasion.
We can-
Opening statement? There
we
is
can
no
handle
way
it.
this is justice. This is revenge, not justice. That's the opening statement.
Simple and straightforward. Driftwood, your rebuttal. Yes, actually. I will not dispute that Lionel Lysanthier is a man driven by a personal grudge against mankind. That much is not to be debated. However, I do believe that his crusade is the only means by which the Elven people stand a chance of achieving justice for the loss of Mithranor. As the evidence and court records will show, the elves have often relied upon the guidance of Fey in their lives. Lysanthier is following the guidance of Queen Below, a Fey figure who is now the lawful ruler of the Feywild congruent with the region of Cormanthier and the Dalelands. In acting as her lieutenant, he is fulfilling his obligation under the terms of their partnership, and, indeed, will give the elves justice for the loss of Mithranor. Very well. Illinsworth. Can you elaborate on your point?
I'd be happy to. Do you have perfect information of the situation that caused the city to fall? Your Highness.
We have... There are certain matters that are unclear,
Okay.
but much of the timeline of events is established.
Okay.
We have records, of course, of the attack of the Enclave of Fulnatar. Fulfentar.
It's a tongue
Bailiff,
twister.
strike that from the record, please. can't speak Netherese. But
I can't eat.
fair enough. We are clear that the Enclave performed acts of unilateral aggression against the Elven Kingdom of Cormanthier and against the city of Mithranor specifically. Attempted to seize control of the Elven Mythal for reasons unknown. And when this failed, the city fell to the earth, destroying both itself and Mithranor. And, not incidentally, put the Elven people at existential risk.
More so than the Netherese?
The act of destruction itself, the choice that was made to allow the city to fall, had far-reaching repercussions, both in the mortal world and, as Miss Wormwood has laid out, Driftwood, yes, the Feywild as well suffered great damage and catastrophe. Resulted in the death of several of the Archfey most closely aligned with the Elven people.
And with good? Go on.
And with good itself. Indeed. There is a crime in that as well. Now, the Shadowvar of Thultanathar were not... they were solely responsible for their act of aggression. That much cannot be disputed. However, the decision to bring about their defeat, specifically by crashing their city to the ground, can be laid at the feet of a human.
Okay.
Elminster Almar.
Okay.
Now, Elminster is not accountable to this court for his crimes. However, we are here to adjudicate the value, or lack thereof, of a single individual's plan to take retribution for it.
So, the person responsible is above this court and cannot be brought to justice by your own words. So, you are deciding to drop a city on another city because you can't actually achieve the justice you want to the person who's guilty.
Now, as a point of order, I am not doing it. I am merely declining through intervention to prevent it from occurring.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, if...
A crime by omission does not make it less of a crime.
I mean, unless the one who's... The difference between justice and revenge is punishing the perpetrator, correct?
That is one part of it, yes.
So if the perpetrator isn't being punished, but you're hurting other people, how is that justice?
The perpetrator, in this court's view, Elminster Almar, is beyond the reach of elven justice. He is well-connected, a powerful wizard, and enjoys the favor of the goddess of magic, a human deity against which this court is incapable of taking action. Lionel Lysanther is capable of taking action. Action that this differs from this court's interpretation, but nonetheless, it would bring retribution to the person who committed the offense. It would send a message that he is not at liberty to sacrifice elven lives for his own ends and not expect repercussion. The act itself cannot be condoned as a good act. However, it is arguable that it may be a just act. A due retribution brought about by whatever means are available to this court and to Lionel Lysanther. There would be many dark hearts as a result of it. Many poor would suffer.
Going with the ends justifies the means argument.
Present to me an alternative. If a fugitive is beyond the reach of justice, formal justice, Is it just to bring punishment to you, even if in doing so you break laws?
Is it just to let any group of people suffer for the actions of one individual, whether that person be Ilminster or Lionel Lysanthier?
What justice is there in compliance? Compliance with Ilminster's notion that he has the moral authority to sacrifice a city full of elven lives. This is distasteful in the extreme. To bring a city on top of another. It was a horrific sight.
It grieves me greatly to think of that day. For both sides of that conflict are represented in my own blood as a half-elf, as a Jaastien. And I stand before you today a result of what can happen when the union of these two societies is brought together for good. The discovery of magic, its advancement for the people and for mankind was created by dissolving those lines of conflict that we now find ourselves treading upon. My argument is not for the what could be considered the righteousness of Lionel Lysanthier's cause, but rather what happens if it's prevented. What greater knowledge could be found again, brought back, if lives were spared in this endeavor. If the perpetuation of the elven people is not of its own accord, but through cooperation and movement with other races. I realize that is very opposite of what the Eldrath Veluthra think. But I would ask this court to consider the implications of what such a union could bring, as an example of such. For whatever weakness I do possess, I am a result of a union between those two worlds.
You have a point. You have a point that when mankind and the people have cooperated, we have both flourished as a result.
And I would pose a question, a follow-up question to this court. Ilminster acted on behalf and with approval of the entirety of mankind? Is that on record? I'd love to see it.
Ilminster does enjoy an elevated status within mankind's ranks, but you are correct, he could not be called their sovereign. What you describe is a nuance that must be acknowledged.
My second question would be, does Lionel Lysanthier act with the approval of all elven kind? I have at least half a vote that says no.
You are indeed right. Ilminster's decision cannot be held against all mankind, regardless of Lysanthier's intention. Lysanthier's action cannot be held against all of elvenkind, regardless of whether he succeeds. Although I doubt mankind would see it as such.
But elvenkind is sitting reticent to do anything. An action is an action. And if there was power capable enough to interfere with Ilminster and his actions, should it have been taken? If there's power and resistance to what Lionel Lysanthier has planned, should there also not be exercising of those actions as well?
You are within your rights to act against him, regardless of today's outcome. This hearing is to determine whether or not I will assist you in it, or whether justice is better served by simply allowing this to play out betwixt the two of you. Understand that from my position, intervention, if it is to come at all, must be a naturally occurring result of logic and of what justice demands. I am not bound to act in service of ending his plan, if the greater cause of Elvenkind can be served by it. Distasteful as an act as he intends, it must be judged on its own merits and what it aims to accomplish. My concern: are you educated in the elven ways of courtly law?
I am not a lawyer.
But I play one on
Fair
TV.
And I play one.
This is common to the perceptions of justice across the world, but we have many purposes in seeking justice. The first and most straightforward is punishment. We punish bad behavior according to the law. And next is rehabilitation. We administer justice, we sentence criminals with the aim of helping them to understand their actions are wrong, wherever possible, or in cases where rehabilitation is not possible or undesirable, to remove them from an environment where they can harm others. And last, and what I am most concerned with these proceedings, is retribution. And retribution is giving Elvenkind justice, giving them the understanding and the perception that someone who has behaved badly against them has gotten what they deserved, has received a proportionate retribution for the acts which have harmed society or harmed Elvenkind. I feel that as painful an experience as any human lands who are damaged by Lysanthia's crusade would experience. I am not convinced that they do not deserve to know the suffering that the Elvenkind endured. The day of the second fall of Mithranor, scarcely more than a breath had it been living again when it was killed by the specter of mankind's arrogance, by the worst traits mankind possesses, brought whole cloth out of an era of the past and given the power to destroy. I do not know that humanity has reckoned with it. And I think that they might, if they were forced to witness it, if it were their lands. What can you say for stopping, let us say, for example, that I rule in your favor today? How would I leave this courtroom believing that the crime that was done to Elvenkind at the second fall of Mithranor would be avenged? How can I be assured that mankind reckons with what their dreams, what their ambitions wrought upon the world?
If an elven wizard goes into an orphanage, casts a fire, kills himself and all the children, to punish his family?
Depending on any number of things, I might well.
Okay. Even though they had nothing to do with this.
If they had nothing to do with it, then they would have nothing to fear from me.
Humanity, mankind, and the part that split long ago that most humans don't even know they're a part, that went to the shadow. How could they have anything with short lives? How could they be in any way accountable for the actions of the shadow people?
Yes, that is a fair point. None who would suffer because of the attack would be directly culpable. However, there are a few who know the Shadowfar, a few who recognize them. And unfortunate in this regard, Elminster Almar is one of them.
So suffering of the many to punish the few? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I hear your words, Scion of Hell. And we are grateful for a servant of the Vigilant One to be present at these hearings. Now, the question at issue in that is how much culpability does mankind share for the actions of one wizard? And in that, it may help if you understood the significance of Myth Draenor. Myth Draenor is the only other place besides the Isle of Evermeet that Elvenkind has made a permanent home for themselves. Myth Draenor and the kingdom it represented, Cormanthier. An attack against Cormanthier is of necessity an attack against Elvenkind. That is what we struggle to overcome here in these proceedings. To make the decision to drop a giant city on top of our giant city, which again is what he did, cannot be otherwise construed as an attack on Elvenkind itself, on our presence by one of mankind's exemplars, one of their mythic figures.
Well, Lysanthier is not a mythic figure. Who in the Elven realm has given him the go-ahead to go do this on his own? Because from where I stand in that Lake Sember, no one liked the Eldrath Veluthra.
Their existence is hard to defend. It is predicated on an irrational distrust and hatred for those not of the people.
So an irrational vigilante is supposed to bring justice.
People do accidental justice all the time.
But this isn't accidental. We're talking about it right now.
His actions are quite deliberate, but the pursuit of justice would be purely secondary, if indeed it has occurred to him at all.
I question whether or not justice can be that anything that Lionel Lysanthier is doing could be considered justice. The man culpable for the second fall of Myth Draenor, for dropping this, is a man who who cannot be held accountable by this court and at all. The guy that did it is a dude that we can't do anything. So it sounds like, no offense, that you're just butthurt about it and you want someone to do something.
I do want someone to do something.
And I understand that. But my dad? That guy's crazy. I mean, you put the keys to the wagon in his hands and he's gonna drive it right off a cliff.
March an army to the Netherese and declare war on the Shadow People if you think it was an act of war. What if what he did was the best possible outcome for that situation that he was in? Do we know?
Struggle to see the good in the outcome.
Well, what if it was about less bad? What if there was no good in that situation? We have no idea what the other options were. What if destroying far more of this planet, of this world, of other planes and other realms were at stake, and he made a very difficult decision that happened to be very unfair to the elves? Not that he set up that scenario. He didn't set those dominoes. He was just there.
Would you have the pain of that decision rest solely on the if we are to make a decision wherein some must suffer to prevent a worse calamity, who decides who suffers?
Depends on the sufferings wrong. I mean, what makes you think that anything he does will not be seen as an act of war by elves to humans that will then precipitate another act of retribution?
Yeah, it's just a huge circle of vengeance that's gonna come on, and that doesn't do justice for anybody.
An eye for an eye leaves the whole world.
There's no conclusion there. There's no forgiveness there. There's no end to this. If you let him do what he does, then Elminster and humankind are just going to retaliate
is that
again.
Justice for the people? Is
and then
that
more
justice
Elvenkind
for mankind?
And more Elvenkind get hurt.
That is
Now-
the question.
She's threatened to do this a couple of times, but at this line, she actually does begin to stone-facedly cry.
I cried
Oh.
too. I started crying.
Oh, no, you're just drama.
I can drop of a hat, man. I could cry on cue.
What alternative do you put forward? I see two paths before me. One is participating in a wrong that will be done against others. And the other is acquiescence, acceptance that a person made a decision that harmed my people, that caused untold grief and suffering. And I will have done nothing. Nothing to address it. Nothing to take retribution. I, the goddess of elven justice, will do nothing to the perpetrator of the gravest injustice against elven people in an age.
Except grief. What can any of us do against grief? Perhaps you can do something against the power. I've lost so many of my loved ones, and what could I do?
Nothing.
Cry. There's no bringing them back. What you do is you move on, you find new family. What if we asked for help? What if we asked the humans to help us rebuild Mythdrenner for you, to make it better, to accept this tragedy, and celebrate it as best we can, and grieve it, and move on?
What we're talking about here is, would justice be a return to a world that's no longer here? The true act of grieving, the true justice involved in grief, is moving on and flourishing and accepting and flourishing beyond its pale. To what would be justice for the elven people, for the people, would be to flourish in spite of the setbacks thrown to them, to accept the world that we live in. Mythdrenor is no more, but we can find a way to bring about a new age of Mythdrenor, a new world, with the help of mankind, like in the days of old, but in a new, fresh lens that we can all move forward together. And wouldn't that just stick in Elminster's craw a little bit, to see more of me in the world, more combinations of the ingenuity and persistence of humankind and the long-sighted, long-lived wisdom of the people, and what invention might be wrought at that union? And wouldn't that be true justice for the people, to see Elminster pale at our success in spite of his actions, whether or not they were justified?
Well, not to mention, not just humans, but halflings.
Yeah, none of us are humans.
Dwarves.
Not the other inhabitants of
Whereas
this
Lionel
place.
Lysaethier dislikes both of our kind just outright. And we're here fighting for what's better for everybody.
You know, it was a great ideal, Mithrin. Not merely a home for the people, but a home for all peoples. It cost us much to dream of such, and I believe it was instrumental in the greatness of Mithrin. The first time it fell, well, it was our fault. It was the people's folly. And it was the work of many lifetimes, Elven lifetimes, to see it flower again, and to see a worthy coronal take up the blade of rulership. It flourished for some years and then gone, as if it had never been. I wonder if justice itself can account for that. But there is much wisdom in what you say. Perhaps it will take the work of many more lifetimes for Mithranor to flourish again. But that day will never come. If death comes for mankind, waving an elven blade, and speaking of elven justice. You're right. Lysanthire's plan, regardless of what happens, cannot proceed with my approval. I hope that you will remember this conversation when you face him. I hope that you will remember this conversation as you continue in your adventures and with your lives. The Elven people may never punish the one responsible, may not even know the truth of why it was done. If we are to build anything worth remembering, we must lead with our hearts and with forgiveness. Very well. You pass my trial. So should I just see myself out then, or what? Poof.
I guess so.
Like to cross-examine?
Would you like to cross-examine?
Well, she didn't end up being any help at all. But, well, she was present.
Queen below.
Apparently not well studied in matters legal.
I think that I count myself among the people, as best as a Jacques can. But
you are of the people, Jaastien. If elven greatness can be said to mean anything, it must include your actions against your father.
It will. I think that and I'm speaking in Elven now, and I think that to me the most important part of the people. Just give me. Hold on.
I'm getting to it.
The most important meaning in our vast language, in the Elven interpretation of the word for the people, is that it's all people now, and the interpretation, the idea of the people is family, family is what you make of it. And that is the true path of justice for the people. And then I tell them what it's.
So be it. Carry the people with you. When you face your father, you will have the strength of the people. She hands you a scroll, and she holds up a small basin in which she was apparently collecting the tears she shed, and also gives you that.
Thank you for letting us participate, though we are not of the blood. It's an honor.
Yes, thank you.
The blood is not... It does not determine who the people are. Your actions do.
Tell it to his father.
Gladly.
I suspect I will, when he comes to account for himself in the hereafter.
Oh, in that case, tell him I say.
I will say, we're going to carry the ideal with Mithranor to us, and I can guarantee you that Lysanthier is not fighting for the ideal of Mithranor.
We gotta get some saran wrap for that or
Yes,
something.
yes.
We have an extra
cork
Do we have
or
an extra
something.
potion bottle? We have an empty potion bottle. It's Elven god tears. I'm not going to spill
give
this
them to
thing.
me. I've got the good dexterity. Jeez.
I'm not going to walk and not make a dexterity check. I guess I just live here now.
My lady, your wisdom, your willingness to listen to us will not be forgotten. Thank you for this audience. We are humbled.
I was duty-bound to give you a trial, and so I have. You have impressed me.
Hey, what do we do with these?
If you anoint a weapon with it, it will become a weapon of power. The better to strike against the unjust.
I see.
Great. We'll take.
Boy,
good
you
care
don't
of
even
this.
punch people.
Yeah.
And I'm here too.
Yes. Right, now get your fists in there, buddy.
I mean, we had to edit for time, but his argument, Grognak was like,
Oh yeah, I
won.
particularly enjoyed when Grognak brought the whole courtroom.
I
to
mean,
tears.
yes, when he was talking
also,
back
I
and
believe
forth.
there's an issue of copyright and trademark at hand here. You see, we're the Dark Moon. The monks are. Oh, she's gone. Okay.
So
It wasn't
my
important
good
enough
friend
for-
Grognak, I will personally see to it that the other Dark Moon is destroyed or locked away or whatever we can do to that.
There's only
thing
one Dark Moon.
for a long time. The sword that
One Dark Moon asterisk.
the sword formerly known as Dark Moon is put away.
the imposter sword.
Yes, the imposter sword.
Oh, I like
Copyright.
that.
She's gone.
Yeah, that was great.
We should have asked how long it lasts.
I don't know, man. I think
They're tears of a god. I'm sure it's fine.
it's probably going to be just fine.
I know, but do we use it now or later?
I don't know. Maybe you should cast Identify about it.
Yep, we're going to do that later on.
I know, but what do I do about it now?
That's what I said. We're going to
How
stop
very
it up.
carefully.
How
put in
heavy
the
is
thing.
it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's like a ceramic basin. It's not.
Then I cast Mage Hand, and I will
Yeah, it's less than 10 pounds.
pick it up and carry it. Like it's cool, man. We got it.
It's good. It's good.
What if you get hit and lose concentration?
I don't think I have to concentrate on Mage Hand.
This
Maybe
is a
I can.
cantrip.
I think it just lasts for. Yeah, man. It just lasts. I just gotta re-up it.
We can,
every
I'm
minute.
sure we can like put it in something to keep it in case it spills a little bit. It's gonna be
I
fine.
drink a potion bottle.
Bag potion.
Hold this.
No.
Potions out.
Let's not get off track here.
Fair enough.
All right.
Here all night. Start drawing cards.
Yeah, deck of many things, you say.
No, I don't. I specifically don't.
I draw 4.
Stop.
52 pickup.
All of the cards. You heard me. All of them.
I eat
I'll hope I draw the wish first and wish the bad crap away.
I
Yes.
eat the deck. Yes, I will hold the basin of tears while we finagle a...
I have 6 healing potions, so I'm going to drink a healing potion.
Great, and then we can make a funnel.
Listen,
How do we
let's
make
just
a
wrap
funnel
it.
now?
Just wrap the damn
Dude,
thing.
What?
I will
fine.
give you magical saran wrap if we stop worrying about the tears.
God,
Guys,
elven
we
tears.
still
they
have,
gotta
we
be
have 2
saved.
other rooms to go see.
2?
Still, yes.
I thought this was the last one.
Well,
You
there's
don't know
6.
about it. It's the other one yet. No, there are
One other trial
6
that we know
rooms.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's one other. I'm
one
sorry.
other trial
You're
room. Now that scroll she handed you,
Oh, yeah, it has words on it.
Yes.
Read it to us. Come on. Story
Hart
time.
the 6th. The dark eye opened, and Thultanthar returned to the skies. The shades therein saw the world again, and compared it to the lofty heights upon which they soared. They found all they saw wanting, and in need of their direction. They devoured all they could reach, and hungered most of all for the glory of the people. They brought war and death not seen for an age, and in their death throes destroyed what they had longed to possess. The Shadow Deep had preserved them, frozen them as they were before their destined fall. But seeds do not sprout in winter, and no enlightenment can shine forth from the cold void that they had welcomed into their hearts. For all their pride, they wove nothing but grief.
Nice. Let's go see this goddess of love.
That's who's left?
I think so.
Yep, that's the heart with gold leaf, so probably.
Well, that should be more pleasant.
We identified all
I
the
hope
gods.
so.
Yep. Eileen Selenan.
We need should we ask for her tears too?
I don't know. She's gonna have some kind of something with us, man. I don't know.
I really
Just
want to
prepare yourself.
think we're ever going to get a chance to talk to this Elminster guy. I'm kind of curious what the other choices were here.
I don't know.
Really
Seems like
like
a bit
to-
of a dick.
Well, okay, but
Well, then
I
how
just
is he
wanna
out
know-
of jurisdiction with Godkind?
Because his girlfriend's hot, man. Like that's this
Who's his
whole deal.
girlfriend?
The goddess of magic. It's a thing.
What?
Yeah, it's like it's like okay. You ever like
And several of her daughters.
and several of her daughters. He loves to mention that, I'm sure. But listen, I read this one book.
That doesn't
and
sound right.
It's all about like
I come from the country, and that doesn't sound right.
it's weird. man.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah, no, like, but he just decided to. Okay, so this one time I was at this
Okay.
really highfalutin elven party,
And you can read about it in The Herald by Ed Greenwood. It's terrible. Don't. But
Don't do it.
in
It's
any
like-
event,
Anyway,
You're
I got
right.
this one.
I mean, I'm curious about this elf. Like,
There's this
Yeah,
one time I was
I
with
know.
this town. I got with this girl. Turns out she was like the princess of this town, and then like nobody could touch me for a while. It was sort of like I could do
Interesting.
whatever I want until
So-
she got mad at me because I slept with her sister. No big deal. And then I was, run out
like
of
you would
town.
like this Elminster guy.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Game respect game.
This is
but,
what I'm saying.
he's a dick.
Your words.
Fair enough. All right. And
also,
with that,
look in the mirror.
This is what I mean. Exactly.
walk into the next love goddess room.
I'm not sure what to prepare
I'm
myself
all
for.
about this.
There's a lot of things they don't tell you about being a lich. Minions and miniatures are hard to keep track of. They take up a lot of space and money. The copays are ridiculous. And they're far more fragile than you expect. Weak ankles. But thank the dark powers, I found tactical tokens. Do I love them? Lich, please. They're stackable, right-onable, and much easier to keep track of on a battlefield. Tactical tokens, the best-kept secret of necromancers and game masters everywhere. Lichin' ain't easy, but choosing tactical tokens is. Until next time!
And that's how you juggle dice.
wow, I can't believe we caught that on camera.
Tony, why'd you cut it?
Such an ass.
Anyway, so you guys open up the door with the heart, with the gold leaf on it, and you immediately walk into a peaceful forest glade with a shimmering pool of crystal clear water surrounded by trees.
This is nice.
That feels like day.
It's pretty nice. I don't think I'm glowing.
Doesn't seem to be.
But it
enough.
feels like.
Yeah, no, I Hello?
You don't hear anything.
I'd like to go investigate the
Let's check out the
Pond?
hot tub.
Ready?
How's it look?
Elven hot tub.
Is it heart-shaped?
It
With
is
a,
not heart-shaped.
with a mirror on the ceiling?
However, there is a stone in a perfect heart shape, lying, just sort of floating on the surface of the water.
Floating.
Looking at you, Mage
Promise.
Hand.
Promise stone.
Wait, maybe you shouldn't. This time. Never mind. I don't know. I don't know. My perception's 9. Did I hear that?
Probably not. It's probably fine.
This rock is. I'm not sure about. Do we touch it?
I'm gonna tell you, don't look too deeply into that pool. Just
Why?
I
What's
don't
down
know,
there?
man. Let's say Ghourd.
Oh yeah, Ghourd is. Let's just point of order. Have
Yes.
Ghourd look in. Jaastien, probably a safe distance.
Standing
I
back,
see
just
that.
off the
I
road.
see-
gosh, what's going on?
I see the bottom. I think.
Yeah, it doesn't look that deep. Just kind of seems like it tops out at probably about 6 feet deep.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing down there. So. It's just
Like,
water.
Floaty heart rock.
Or it's love tears. I don't know. We got tears from the other room, so this might just be tears.
Is it salty? Don't drink it. Don't drink it. Don't drink it.
I feel like you're giving him contradictory
Yeah.
instructions there,
That's a
Jaastien.
whole lot of mixed messages.
Wait. Oh, don't. Oh,
Don't drink it.
I don't know if it's.
So
salty
you
then.
touch the water then.
Yes.
Yes, I touched the water.
Someone's got to do it.
Okay.
Might as well be
Delightful.
Ghourd.
What's that? Do you hear that?
Probably not. My name's not Ghourd. I don't listen to anything. It doesn't start with Jaastien, you're so handsome.
Ghourd, you're so handsome.
Hey.
Damn it!
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't jump
So do
in.
I
I'm surprised
listen
you didn't
now?
Cannonball in.
I
I
am
can't hear
handsome.
what you're hearing, man. I assume I
Ghourd,
can't hear.
you
You don't
see
hear
3 gorgeous dwarven women in that
Beards
pool.
down to here.
Yeah. And the only bra they're wearing is the beard. And
Just how I like it. I think.
they're kind of giggling and washing each other, and they beckon you to join them.
In the pool.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad this isn't my test, because I'd fail hard. So hard.
I don't know how Ghourd feels about intimacy and love.
Well, let's see what Ghourd's charisma saves to think about.
That's
intimacy
great. I
and
like
love.
that idea. I mean, it's a +6. It's not bad.
Let's see.
That one.
Ghourd.
Ghourd's thinking with the wrong carrot.
Yeah.
Oh, baby!
The Ghourd.
Heart of
orgy
stone.
scene.
29.
29.
Dang, son.
Maybe. Was it 30?
No. 29 is pretty good. I'm not gonna, don't worry. You kind of
28.
Yeah, you kind of you're about halfway through undoing your belt buckle when you realize, wait a minute, something's awfully suspicious about this, and the
3
women disappear.
Yeah, 3 dwarven women don't act like that. Dwarven women don't act like that.
They don't hang out at the bottom of pools.
And do that? No. No.
What do they get? What kind of look do they like? That sort of like
They were gorgeous.
good.
And they
to go?
wanted me to go down there. But I just don't think that's the best. You told me not to touch it, so you.
I
no,
know.
you
I'm not going to
it
touch the
now.
water.
Crap.
What's the deal?
Get 10 feet within me. Well, not with.
Phrasing, Ghourd. We've talked about this.
Sorry, I just saw 3
Good
gorgeous
night,
dwarven
everybody.
women in the room of love. Okay.
What if we all hold hands and all touch the water?
All right,
There's this
is-
dwarf called Freud. It's called a Freudian slip that I've heard
What,
about. That's
you just
what
saw
that
them.
happened.
They were just in the pool.
They were just in the pool,
You're crazy.
and they
man.
wanted me to
You're
go in
crazy.
there.
There's nothing in that pool. Do I look in the pool?
Charisma save, please.
Hey, I'm okay at those. Maybe.
Well, if I saw a dwarf, you're going to see half elf. Well, I don't know what you're going to see. Actually.
Yeah.
Whatever you're into.
That's a 21.
Plus 3.
21.
Oh, plus 3, 24.
All right. So you see a gorgeous elven woman, a gorgeous woman, a human woman who bears an uncanny resemblance to like a more live Thelma Thompkins, and what appears to be a lady dragonborn.
I've been.
What do you see?
It's a Tuesday night. I don't know.
Hey, man.
And
all
you
right.
also get like, hey, you are selecting your opening line from a number of ones that you have prepared specifically for this situation.
Of course.
When you like kind
Dragonborn.
of shake
Okay,
it off
okay.
and realize that you were probably something was probably trying to enchant you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
hallucinating or something.
Oh, is that a charm spell? Because I would have advantage against it either way.
It's not quite a charm spell.
Okay.
but-
I mean, it's a god.
Rognak, step back.
Whoa.
Don't look in the pool.
Are you
Find the
sure?
moon.
I'm
Find the moon.
positive.
It's, the moon. Where's
The moon's
the moon?
up there. Look.
Well, I'm pretty sure I see the goddess Shar in there, along with.
No, you don't. No. 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 No.
No.
No.
All right.
That's Ghourd's +3.
No,
you don't.
No. Just shaking your head no at people
No.
who are about to do something foolish.
Disappointing dad. So.
I don't know what to do.
Mage hand,
Listen, I saw like
Blackstone.
3 hot people in there. I think 2 of them were women, but I don't. One of them was.
Well, if we've learned anything from the staff, if you mage hand that rock,
Jaastien don't play that.
you're gonna touch the water. And
So we just sit here and stare at the pool? What do we want to start searching trees? What do we do here? We see a door?
No, that door's gone.
Yeah.
Fine, grab the rock.
I think we all need to be tested. I think this is a test.
All right, you look in the pool then.
Well,
This is a test of our cod pieces and our minds.
tell you what. You hold me. Because I don't trust myself looking in this pool.
Tie him to the
Three.
mast. Tie him to the mast.
Mage
Bless.
hand. That
Guidance.
No, that doesn't help against saves.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
Illinsworth,
right.
there's a bag of money and a cop bleeding out.
Oh, what?
Illinsworth, you are preparing to incant your mage hand, and you have the strangest feeling that there's something worth looking at in that water. So, how about you make me a charisma save?
How about I do? You guys ready to watch a halfling cannonball into a
No,
pool?
it's fine.
Natural 20!
Boom! Damn!
Right, so you come face to face with the phantasmal illusion of whatever your idea of sexual beauty is, and you manage to keep your head in the game and mage hand that stone out of the water.
Bunch of. Nice.
It is a bunch of nice.
Bunch of nice.
I was gonna like blue-haired, swarthy halfling
Why
women
Why blue hair?
because he has blue hair.
You do.
Blonde eyes.
Oh, you do have blue hair.
Blue hair, blonde eyes.
Yeah, man. Baby
That
Jesus.
works.
How it is.
I haven't looked at your mini so long, I forgot you had blue hair.
So you
Fair enough.
are kind of examining the stone. It
Look at
doesn't
this
really feel any different from a carved rock. But you hear a chorus of giggles coming from the other side of the pool. And out of the foliage steps 3 strikingly beautiful women. Now you should probably make constitution saves.
Oh. It's all right, ladies. There's plenty of Jaastien to go around. Nice.
+3.
+3 to that? Really? 23.
Nice.
No, 22. Sorry.
Still nice.
Yes.
Hot damn!
22. And Ghourd? An entire 1. Okay.
Natural 1.
What about
+3.
Grognar? Does he,
Grognak.
Oh, yeah.
Grognak, watch the door!
Grognak did not make the save.
Okay.
But this constitution save, these 3 beautiful women are so striking that you find your mind can't really process it. And you, Ghourd, go stark blind.
They're so hot, he's blind.
It's like, when you have spots on your vision from looking at light, it's like your whole field of vision is one big spot. And
Shazam.
Grognak walks into a tree, having also failed to save.
All right. I'm going to need you to give my friends their sight back, please.
No worries, no worries. You passed, pretty boy.
Barely. I mean, this is a big step for me, I'll be honest.
And we appreciate that, by the way. Thank you for just coming this close to failing the save. But
I swear, this never happens.
So Ghourd is just like staring dumbfounded, despite being unable to see.
Can you guys see them anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still there.
Glad I can.
They're talking to us.
Radiating beauty blinded me.
I think this is like a goddess of... Are there three of you the goddess? What's the deal
They
here?
each hold hands with one another.
Okay, now stop that.
And two of them just kind of seem to melt into the one in the middle,
That's a cool trick.
who is the blonde one.
Oh, of course.
She
Is the
gives
redhead
you
still
a-
there?
Blondes have more fun, Ghourd. It's fine.
I didn't know.
You know,
that.
that's actually part of my dogma. Your heart skips 2 or 3 beats when she gives you a winning smile and a wink.
Ah.
And
Focus.
my good halfling friend, I believe your scroll. You look at the stone that you were floating, and now it's a scroll.
Oh, well, that's a nifty trick. You
Where'd
are
we
just
get a
full
scroll
of
from?
surprises.
We don't have a scroll yet.
No, we got it. It's fine.
Oh.
Oh, here, Ghourd, you poor thing. Ghourd, you feel the touch of lips on your forehead, and you feel better. You managed to blink away your blindness after the full body warmth kind of ebbs a little bit.
Never been
nice.
kissed before.
I can definitely see why
Well, you
people...
were fantastic.
You too.
Would you be so kind as to lay one on our half-orc friend there?
Oh, don't worry, I brought enough for everybody.
Thank you.
She gives you a forehead smooch.
Aw.
I am just
Aw.
shocked I am not more inclined to stay here. This is really like...
Well, you know,
I
you've
mean-
really grown as a person, Jaastien. Now you, in addition to loving women, you hate your dad.
and I kind of hate myself for that. Which I think is probably the only reason that got me through this whole situation.
I could stay here forever.
Ghourd, I don't think...
Lays
I'm
one
gonna do
on Grognak, and Jaastien kisses you right on your scar, and then gives your booty a little pinch on the way out.
You're a strong half-elf. You're a strong half-elf. You're out to kill your father. You're out to kill your father.
Surprised.
Well, that's a new one.
I'm surprised you didn't ask her out. Boy.
When we have less on the old dance card, I'll come back.
Wow.
Yeah, you can find one of my talismans in any temple. Give me a chant. Just want to watch out. My boyfriend's the king of the Elven gods.
Oh, that's your boy. Well,
And
you
also
know,
the queen.
I look after
I thought
the
it was like
Fey
an open
gods.
thing. Oh, that was the one that I prayed in front of with the sword. And
How much
maybe
of a-
gave another piece of my soul to. Not 100% sure. I don't think I did, but
Who can keep track anymore?
who can keep track? I'm going to live forever, I think.
I mean, I'm a protector of Titania.
Boyfriend doesn't have much of a sense of humor.
Oh, he just takes himself a little too seriously sometimes. You
Why?
know how it is.
I hope you help him relax and, enjoy the finer things. in
Serenine
life.
Moonbow and I, yes.
Yeah, it's Elven. I'll catch you up on it, I guess.
Elves aren't really monogamous by nature. Yes.
I've noticed.
That means I have a chance.
You do.
All right.
Well
so
done.
what is? Let's read. Thank you. I'm just as surprised as anyone to be going. This one I was dreading a bit more.
Well, if you
Manage.
touched the water, you would have had to fight the 3 things. But
Oh.
you all made the save. You all passed your test.
Yay!
Nice. Like, fight the 3 women's?
Yeah, fight the 3 women's.
Oh, yeah.
I don't-
Avatars of the goddess of.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight.
No, that's exactly what you would have been saying the whole time.
Indeed.
All right.
Shall we read this last scroll? I think it's the last
should.
one. I'm not 100% sure.
Yes. To begin with, however, the warmth from that forehead kiss hasn't really gone away. You think it might stick with you a while. You can all increase your charisma score by 1.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
That's nifty.
That includes Beyond 20.
I was going to say,
If
mine's
you
already
currently have a
at-
20, you now have a 21.
When does the modification go up? On the evens?
On the evens, yeah.
Well, that's nifty.
Dude.
She made me more pretty.
Yeah.
Great. And then I will read the scroll. I suppose.
Hart the 7th. When the shadows fell over Mithranor, that city died its second death. A home for the people lost to the ambitions of mankind, the opportunism and arrogance of wizards, and the distant machinations of the divine. All sought to weave their will with the ancient and forbidden threads of the mythal. From their loss and the near corruption of their most beautiful creation, the people were wounded in their hearts. They prayed for comfort, and it was given. To be of the people is to love beauty, to love goodness, to love creation. He who walks the world unloving walks alone, for the Seldarine know not him.
That's what we were saying.
Kinda.
I mean, if you'd gone to this one first. But then again, you tried to do them out of order, and I screwed everything up. So I don't know that it matters, really.
But would we have gotten this?
You know,
I mean, I assumed the first place we went, we would have got 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. Or were they all?
Because we got them in order.
Yeah, you got them in order, but it was totally possible to get the scrolls out of order.
Oh, interesting.
And you would have if I hadn't messed up.
Sure.
But it's also much easier to follow this way, so I'm not sorry about that.
You speak truth. You speak truth. Huh. Man, I feel like I kind of had it all wrong. I guess all elves are assholes.
well, they get caught up in it sometimes. It's a tough gig.
They take a different route to assholery sometimes.
Yeah, you live 6,000 years.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, well.
We have some cool. So did we get a different thing from her, or just the heart rock?
Kiss wasn't enough?
No, it's just the
kiss was the thing.
The
Okay.
kiss was the thing. You
'Cause I
still
know
have
we
the
were
heart rock, but
collecting
it
all
does
the stuff.
not seem magical. All the other stuff you got from beating these trials does seem magical.
Yeah, that's cool.
Your smile is magical.
Oh, thanks, Tony.
You're welcome. That's what keeps me coming to peakd&D meetings.
Aww.
Give us a like if you keep coming for my smile. I don't know why you would, but hey, no accounting for taste. No accounting for taste. So, you have got 6 completed trials, 7 if you count Rilliphane, which was the stone phase.
Yes.
And you've got a hallway full of, you've got a temple full of hallways you've explored and a statue of Coralon.
Guess back to the no fun, no humor guy.
Yeah, we should probably lay all these things. I think like
Where do we lay
to
them?
prove we passed the trials. I think
You want us
that's-
to spill the tears? Tears?
No, it's just like we have an hourglass, we have a sapphire, we have an acorn necklace, we have a golden ring, we have this basin of tears, and a heart rock. That's not
The kiss
we have our blessings. I think we are the blessing.
So we go.
I think there's something else.
to the temple.
So you want to
in
go
the
put them
temple.
all? Okay, man. I don't know. He doesn't really. It doesn't like me all that much. They don't like me all that much. So I might just let you
There might be another.
hang out in the
There
back.
might be like a door. These unlock the door to move the statues. Listen, statues, just try pushing them. Who knew?
We learned that. in
There was an
Gibby.
embarrassing long amount of time before we figured that out.
Before we
learned
rolled
that
high
lesson
enough, we
in
couldn't roll
Gibby.
high enough to move.
No,
the-
it's like
the statue.
you blew all the skill checks that I was doing to
Yep.
to give you clues. But
Yeah, it's just-
I mean, I could just go try to push it first.
Let's go check out the main temple
Okay.
again and see, because we've explored all these hallways off the temple. I think
It's true. I think we have.
Be on my best behavior.
Yeah. Is there any part of that main chamber that we didn't explore? Like, have we
Nope,
seen it?
that main chamber had those 2 sets of hallways. You've explored every room that you have found.
Then I guess
Yeah, we can go check
let's
it
go
out.
to the
Say
big guy
thanks.
and
Yeah. Say
say,
thanks,
hey,
and
thank
then-
you for this, and we show him what we got. Say, hey, this is cool.
Alrighty. So, lay out the holy relics you have gathered before the statue of Coralon,
Yes.
and several things happen at once.
Oh God.
The first
6:30.
is that you... No. That's force.
That's the next. Oh.
So, first, you feel a sense of blessing and of welcome. You immediately realize what all of those holy relics do.
They've all drawn together into one super item.
Super necklace of acorns and sapphires and hourglasses.
Anointed with tears.
Third is that you hear a voice. It almost sounds like 2 voices, one masculine, one feminine. And it says simply, prepare.
Ready?
Would you like to know what your relics do?
Yes, please.
Alrighty.
So we might need to hand these out very quickly.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's how we prepare.
All right, so we have the hourglass.
The Hourglass of Silver Sands. All right. While you are attuned to this magic item, you can cast Slow and Haste once each per long rest,
Ooh.
without using any of your own spell slots. Or indeed, even if you don't have any.
I think we all technically do.
I think,
All right.
everyone does. Yeah. Good job.
Cool.
Good job knowing magics.
Hey, we all know magic.
Nice.
You cast them as 3rd level spells.
Cool.
All right. Great. Let's pull on rest. All right, and then we have a sapphire.
Yes, the Sapphire of the Winds. While you are attuned to this object, you can cast the spell Featherfall as a reaction once per short rest, and can cast Fly as a 3rd level spell once per long rest.
Nice. Cool. Very cool. The Acorn Necklace.
The Acorn Necklace also requires attunement. When worn, it gives the wearer a +1 to their armor class and to all of their saving throws. And they also gain the ability to cast the Goodberry spell once per short rest.
Solid.
Okay. That's pretty cool. The golden ring with a pearl in it.
Golden Pearl Ring requires attunement. It allows the wearer to breathe underwater indefinitely and grants a swim speed of 30. The wearer can also speak with aquatic creatures as though using the Speak with Animals spell.
I'm a druid.
You talk to lizard folk now.
That's third party.
Semi-aquatic mammals.
Not mammals.
They're not mammals. They're semi-aquatic reptiles.
You're a terrible druid.
This is the druid we have?
Shush, 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 shush.
Pass fail.
And then the basin of tears.
Yes, the Tears of Andrea. You can anoint a weapon by immersing it in the tears for at least 1 hour. Thereafter, it permanently becomes a +1 magical weapon and gains 1 additional property determined at random when the ritual is complete.
That's one-time use.
One time only.
Anointment.
Yep.
1 anointment.
1 anointment, and then it's just salt water.
That's neat.
I feel like you're the one that likes to anoint things.
I have been the anointer.
It's a beautiful carrot hammer.
Then the statue begins to rumble.
We don't have time to attune any of these items. What are you talking about?
Put him on! Hurry! Put him on! Put him on!
It's not going to do any good.
Drink the tears! Drink the tears!
What happened? I'm alive!
I don't know.
All right, everyone.
Now roll a dex save.
Stand at the ready. Grognak,
Whoa!
punch the thing. I don't, whatever it is.
Comes out, maybe.
Alrighty.
This might be the last trial. Big old statue of this dude. Rumble in the church. All right,
What are we
okay.
preparing for?
I don't know, Ghourd. I think this thing's gonna fight us.
The statue blinks.
It is a statue.
Are they friendly?
The statue makes no hostile moves.
Oh, good. Staring contest. You, me, go.
I don't
Are
know.
you prepared to face the trial of Coraline?
I mean, we faced the rest of them, so yes.
Very well.
Yes. Ghourd's ready. I'm ready.
So while you
always-
are watching the statue, you hear a great crash from the other side of the room.
Oh, good.
It looks as though something has dive-bombed out of the sky,
Oh!
passed through the earth, and come crashing through the ceiling. The light of the outdoors illuminates an angelic figure as it regards you with glowing eyes, long elven features. It offers you a salute and draws its blade. And I think we'll fight it next week, because we're almost out of time here, folks. Thank you very much for joining us for episode 51 of peakdnd. We'll see you next week.
Whoa.